the 16.2 Todex e-commerce platform release, we've added a new capability to set a delivery address status against orders raised in websites hosted on the platform, as well as sending out email notifications to customers when an order's delivery status changes, keeping them informed as orders progress through dispatch and delivery stages. The order's delivery status field can be changed by administrator users, such as a business backend or warehousing staff, as the order progresses through the processing, picking, packing, dispatch, and delivery processes, as well as when orders fail at any of these stages. An order's delivery status can be changed from awaiting packaging to packed, loaded, in transit, delivered, lost in transit, damaged in transit, cancelled, among other statuses. If the order's delivery status changes, then there is ability to automatically send out an email to the user who raised the order, notifying them about the change, as well as containing a customizable message for each delivery status type. Additionally, at any time, administrator users can send out a delivery status notification providing an update of where the order is currently at, with an optional customizable message. This feature can provide a great way of keeping customers in the loop as the order progresses through dispatch and delivery processes, and it can be used to communicate when order deliveries become exceptional. By providing customers with greater feedback at key points, it can provide a better customer service that may lead to increased awareness, satisfaction, and future business opportunities and sales. To show you how this feature works, let's look at our demo Content Manager website here that we have on a Todex hosted project. So first we go and add some products to our basket. So we have some example chairs in our demo website here. We'll proceed through the checkout process. We could either log in and raise the order, or we could go through the guest order checkout. We then confirm the order and submit it. After it's been submitted, if we log into the backend administration center of our Todex hosted project, within the administration center, if we go to the stores menu and then go into the orders interface, we'll be able to then see the order that we had just raised. Now there is a new column here called delivery status, where we can then set a delivery status of where that order is currently within the dispatch and delivery processes of our business. So if we click on the delivery statuses, that then allows us to change the status of the order. We have many different delivery status that orders can be set to. So we can see here it's currently set as awaiting packaging, meaning that it has not yet been packaged up from within our warehouse or the location where our order products are being stored. Then the administration user here can then change that delivery status. So it might go through a pack status where it's now those ordered products have been put into some boxes. Then we may want to then change it to being loaded onto some kind of transport. And then it may go through being in transit as it's being driven to where it needs to be delivered to. And then it may be marked as delivered once it has arrived at its destination. And then optionally, it may be then going through an unpackaging process, such as if the delivery drivers or the freight company is managing the unpacking process, or maybe the receiver at the other end goes through an unpacking process. It could then go through a received process where the goods have been received at the location where they're meant to be delivered to, from where they can be handled. The order may have been cancelled mid-shipment, or maybe before it got shipped, it got cancelled because maybe those products are no longer stocked anymore, or something else has gone wrong. There may be the case where delivery was attempted to deliver the ordered products, but they couldn't be left at the final destination, so we could update as delivery miss if they're being returned back to our warehouse. Or they could be lost in transit on the way, such as if it's traveling by ship and that ship comes unstuck, the goods may have fallen over the side of the ship, then it could be lost in transit. Or the opposite could happen, it could be damaged in transit. Say if it's being delivered by freight, but then that vehicle holding the goods gets damaged on the way. There's also the delivery status awaiting receiver pickup if it needs to be picked up from a store as opposed to the delivery address. And the last status we have here is in storage, where it's being held somewhere until it is ready to be then picked up or delivered. So now that you know the different delivery statuses that we can set against an order, we can then go through and change these statuses as we need to as we go through the process. Additionally, we can also then filter orders based on the delivery statuses. So maybe we want to find all the orders that are packed but not yet delivered. So if we change the delivery status filter here, then we can find those orders that are in that stage. And then we can revert to seeing all orders again if we use the other filter. If we go into the stores menu and then go into the order settings interface, if we scroll down to the bottom of the order tab, there is a new section here called order delivery status, where we can set a bunch of settings that we can configure. Firstly, if you're not seeing the delivery status here on this table, it's because this setting here, order delivery status enabled, may be set to no. So if that setting was set to no, back within the orders interface, we can see that the delivery status would be hidden. So changing that to yes and saving that setting. will enable the delivery status column to now show. Now, when an order first lands, we can set what the initial order delivery status is. So at the moment it's set to awaiting packaging by default, but we may want to have it so that it is in the pack stage automatically when an order first lands. So the status that is set to when the order initially appears, that will be the initial delivery status that an order is sent to. Now we can also send out notifications for when the status of an order changes, when the status of an order is changed to in transit or awaiting receiver pickup. Then within the order interface, if I change the delivery status to one of those statuses and click the save button, you will now see a dialog come up when it's advising when an email notification has been successfully sent out to the email address that is set against that order, such as we have here in our example online email inbox. So you can choose which delivery statuses will trigger an automatic email to get sent out. And this may be helpful for if you've got warehouse staff that are changing the status. You don't want to have them manually send out an email advising when these orders change. So we could choose the options that we want to allow these automatic delivery status notification emails to be sent. You could set them to all statuses or only a handful that are relevant. So in the next setting we have is where you can set within that email notification what the subject should be in the email. So we have a few format hooks that we can put into this setting. So we have the company name set within our Totex project. We can have the order ID set, and then we can also put the delivery status as a label within this subject. We may want to use some different language, such as the text "your delivery is now." Then we can see that changing and saving that setting, the next time an email notification is sent out, we can now see that that updated text will appear in the subject. In the next setting here, the order delivery status notification email message format, we can then modify the content of that email notification being sent out, where we've got the full customization of the HTML that gets embedded into that email. So we can see right now we're putting in the purchase order number, the order ID, the login ID, and the company name. We may want to change the ordering of these fields. So in this email, we may not want to call the login ID username. We may want to call it something else, such as login ID. Then we can go into here and just change that label. We may also want to put the login ID before the purchase order number, or maybe at the top in those order details, so we can simply do that by moving the positioning of the HTML. So there's quite a lot of pieces of information we can include into the email content, anywhere from the delivery and billing address data, the payment method, the freight carrier information if we stored that against the order, and the freight delivery status information itself. We can see here we use that hook in order to show the delivery status label within here and bold that text, but we might want to change the background of the color or change the structure of the email format. So that's where we can do that within this format setting here. For example here, we may also want to include the freight carrier information. If we have turned on the freight carrier feature within this project, where we can enter the carrier, the freight carrier service, and the consignment number. So I've added the additional freight carrier order information, click the set button, and click the save button at the bottom of the screen to apply those changes. Resend out the delivery status notification. Then if we look into that email notification, then we can see the freight carrier data that is included in that email. The rest of these settings allows us to customize the labeling of the different delivery statuses, as well as the messaging that applies to these statuses. The awaiting packaging delivery status, we can change its label, so it may not be awaiting packaging. We could instead here call it awaiting package arrival. That means in the email notifications that go out, if the order is set to awaiting packaging, the delivery status will show as awaiting packaging arrival, such as is shown here for when an email notification contains that status. Additionally, for that delivery status, we can set the messaging that contains a more detailed description of what is relevant to that status. So as we can see here for the awaiting packaging status, we have a description saying the ordered products are waiting to be packaged, and that's the message that can be placed and embedded with delivery status notification, as we can see here in this email. We may provide a more detailed description for this, such as the ordered products are waiting to be processed, picked, and packaged. For orders paid by credit card, this may take 24 orders to process the payment first before packaging occurs. So we can go through each of the different delivery statuses, change the labels, and change the messaging for each of those statuses. And they are all listed here within each of these settings. Once you've customized those labels, if you want to, click the save setting, and then all those settings will then be applied for the next time a delivery notification is sent out. Now for each order, we can also optionally change the status. Let's say we change it to received, but it doesn't automatically send out a delivery status notification. administrator can still click on the email button. So within the send order email notification dialog, we can then change the email or increase the email recipients. And then we can also set a custom message that will appear in these delivery statuses. Here's an example where an admin user may want to put in a custom message such as we're waiting for our warehouse staff to arrive before processing this order. That message can come through and we need to select this checkbox called Send Delivery Status Notification. So once we do that and click this Send Email, once that email has been sent out, when the receiver views the details, they can now see this custom message which is included with the rest of the delivery notification formatted email. So this can provide meaningful information to the customers or the purchasers that are receiving these orders. So now you know about the order delivery status notifications that can be sent out for any projects hosted on the Totex platform across hosted content managed websites to support administration and warehousing staff to send out notifications when orders progress through dispatch and delivery, as well as handling the exceptional circumstances when orders fail to deliver for several different reasons. This feature can be very powerful, especially for businesses that are managing their own fleet of vehicles and doing the delivery themselves, or it could be used in conjunction with freight carriers who provide limited notifications where you can provide additional insights back to the customers who are raising the orders. This may also avoid or reduce the need to use separate freight logistics solutions, or it can be used in conjunction with the other freight features that we have in the Totex platform, such as enter the freight carrier data against the order and send out delivery notifications to include that freight carrier information as well. Ultimately, these notifications will help provide a better customer experience that can lead to more sales opportunities in the future. If you wish to find more information, you can go to the Totex websites, look at the release notes within the forums, and if you have any questions, you can ask within the forums or contact us. You can also view the release playlist on our Totex YouTube channel. Till next time, have a good one.